Put it 2 times speed for your enjoyment. I was arguing with this person yesterday about the question and in her new miniseries. And then I read Justice League 7 off another bit. But the core part of my argument is I felt like this was a little bit below question's pay level. This is not something I don't think the question would be evolved in to the extent that the book is trying to evolve them, unless the conspiracy was actually big. The conspiracy, by the way, was mind control. It was just mind control. That was what they got the question to do, and I felt they could have got any hero to do that. And I said it was a mischaracterization. But then I really sat down and I thought about it, and I watched the whole video on not plot holes, but when characters get ultra powerful for no reason, like inconsistent writing, shit like that. That manga has one advantage over comics, and that is there is a consistent view of a character that the writer cannot stray from, so they have to be held somewhat accountable. While comics, there is not that. You can have many different views of a character based off of where you jumped in at, making it so writers can practically do anything, and as long as it's not too radical, then it's within the character bounds. Let's take that time where Moon Knight beat Iron Fist with some technique called the Fist of Khonshu. I don't believe that should happen, but that's because I see Iron Fist as someone a little bit above street tier. I see him a lot of bit above street tier, actually, with his chi and his martial arts. I read the Ironheart comic, so I value this character more. Within my mind, he would never lose to Moon Knight, even if Moon Knight is doing some secret technique. But he still lost. And I think that whole comic exemplifies the fact that people who were okay with it, they seen Moon Knight as just Marvel Batman. That's how they kind of seen him. So him defeating all these Avengers made sense to them. But for people who more or less read more Moon Knight material or read certain Moon Knight material, you don't necessarily see him as Marvel Batman. You see him as Marvel's homeless guy who sometimes scraps this shit out and gets shit done. And that's it. And I think that's where the problem lies. I believe if comics want, they can continuously mischaracterize a character until that mischaracterization becomes the status quo. Or they can continually do things that will be outlier feats until that outlier feat becomes a primary feat of the person. I also want to pull up another time. For example, the video I'm watching uses Jason Todd being able to hit Lobo in the back of the head and being able to scrap with Supergirl while she's putting in some force. And I'm like, oh, that's definitely because people during that time had to see Red Hood as the magically enhanced Ra's al Ghul figure and not back down to street tier where, like, he is now within the current DC, like, I guess, ethos. So just tell me what you think in the comments below. Put in